Hello, you guys. Um, this video is going to be about um my relationship with my father. Uh, I really hope I don't come across as I don't know, um, a snot-nosed brat. By saying these things. Uh, I hope that I'm not being a snot-nosed brat by feeling these things. Um, this is, I mean, it's a tough situation for me, but I guess I'll just jump right into it. Um, okay. So, my dad is, on the surface, you know, like outside of our family, he's a pretty reasonable person, usually. Um, talk to him about things, ask him about things, and, he's friendly, he's not overly, um, he's not loud, he's not arrogant, he's not a jerk. Um, and he just sort of, um, I guess you say just sort of a normal guy, wife and kids, whatever. Uh, a good or decent job. Excuse me. So yeah. Outside of there, like if anyone were to meet him just on the street, he'd seem like a good person. Which I'm not gonna say he's a bad person, but he has flaws like everyone else. And this video is going to be about how I have to deal with those flaws, or how I feel about them. Inside the family is obviously where all the trouble comes. Um, uh, he treats um everything in his house um as his own. This is his castle, his fortress. He is the king and we are his subjects, to put it bluntly. Um he rarely he rarely considers other people's opinions. He always thinks he's right about everything. He it's it's extremely rare that I see him change his mind on anything, um, unless he's 100% definitively proven wrong on something. Um, he's extremely hard-headed. He's, I guess you could say his arrogance shines through um, his unwillingness to step back and reconsider some of the positions he takes. Um, and he's just tough to deal with. To but he's a tough person to deal with, just to live with. It's gotten to the point where, well, it's been at this point for a long time, but I don't want to live in this house anymore because he's here. And for a while I didn't want to admit that because that seems bratty, but it's true. And the more I get to know him as I grow and am better able to understand his opinions and the impact that they have in the world around me, I the more I see how incompatible we are and how much I just want to leave. And like and I totally wholeheartedly believe this down to the core of like my very being. If I met him on the street, didn't know him, wasn't my father. If I met him on the street and I knew his even one of the many um, you know uncomfortable opinions that he holds or how he treats people out, again, inside the family, how he runs everything here. Like, if I knew any of that, I probably wouldn't associate with the guy. Um, just because you know, um, just out of my, I don't know, just out of my judge of character, that wouldn't be someone that I want to be around. Um, and um, I don't know if this is coming out right. I guess I'll get right to the character traits that I noticed and the different opinions that he holds on different things and blah and all that stuff. Okay, so already went through the hard-headedness. Um, I don't like how he treats my mom. That's another thing I I don't like. Um, I also don't like how my mom enables his um just his actions. Like, she doesn't speak out about it. Um, I know if we had adult help in the house, he probably wouldn't act this way. But she lets him because it caters to his fragile, fragile ego. I'm being straight up. That's how I see it. I don't know. Um, so he basically treats my mom like, to put it simply, like, I feel like he treats her like a toy sometimes. And I know that sounds like it's a serious abusive, he isn't like he isn't physically abusive. If that were the case, I wouldn't deal with him at all. I'd call someone and have him taken away. But he isn't physically abusive. Um, he is very he likes to exercise his dominance um over her and over us. His children. He has four children, me and my three brothers. He likes to exercise his dominance over us by telling us what to do, and um, just, I don't know, just being difficult about things. Um, telling me and my brothers what to do, telling my mom what to do. I mean, what? She's an adult. You're telling her what she should do. Come on, like, you can make suggestions, but right. So you know, he likes to exercise his dominance over her in many ways. I mean, I don't doubt that he loves her. I don't doubt that she loves him, but I think their relationship is not an equal one. Not at all. Um, and yeah, that's just how I feel about it. Um, I am a quiet, reserved person. I don't. I would think that the people who, or anyone sub to my channel, or anyone who watches this would know, or anyone who has watched my other videos. I'm quiet. I'm reserved. I'm not loud. I'm not. Um, I don't like to get into arguments. My older brother is not that way. He will gladly stand up for his positions on things and speak out about his opinion and all of that. He and my dad go at it all the time, and it escalates into serious verbal altercations all the time. And my dad never apologizes for any of the extremely horrible things that he said to my brother. He never apologizes for the horrible things that he said to my mother. He never apologizes for anything. Just to put that out there, he makes mistakes like everyone else. He never, ever, ever apologizes. Ever. He waits, acts all mushy for a while, waits for you to get over it, and when the time passes, he's like, "Oh, it'll pass. I don't need to apologize." He never apologizes for anything. I don't know if he ever, and I don't even know if he ever thinks he's wrong legitimately about these things. Maybe he, in his mind somewhere, he tries to justify it with some twisted logic, but he never apologizes for anything, ever. So that really bothers me, needless to say. Um, so he never apologizes. He's extremely difficult, as you can already tell. Um, and all right, let me see. Hold on. He treats this place like his castle. He treats us like his subjects. Um, I guess I'll just get down to this, some of the opinions that he holds that I have problems with. Um, okay. I guess I'll start with this. He's a homophobe. It's one thing that I find to be, that's a disgusting opinion in my opinion. Um, I know a lot of people deal with family members that are, oh, my family member is racist, my family member is a homophobe, whatever, but that doesn't mean you have to hate them, right? And I don't hate my father. Hate is a strong word. Um, but that's a disgusting opinion. And I normally, if I knew someone on the street that was a homophobe, I would already right off the bat dislike them and not want to associate with that person. So he's a homophobe. How do I know this? He's told me to my face that he thinks being gay is unnatural and disgusting, and he's compared it to um uh, what's the word? When you have sexual intercourse with animals. He compared it to that. I know there's a word for it, but it's not coming to me. Um, and that's horrible. It's not only is that wrong, but that's extremely disrespectful, and that's just horrible. I've heard him say to his friends on the phone that he doesn't like the example that sets for his children and all this other bullshit, this homophobic nonsense that he believes. And when I called him out on it and told him to his face that that's disgusting, he was like, "Oh well, I have a right to my opinion." So yeah, he's a homophobic jerk face, uh, and obviously I have a problem with that. Um, Again, it's like I just said. Like I normally wouldn't bother associating with someone like that if they weren't related to me. If they hadn't given birth to me, I normally wouldn't bother with someone like that. I wouldn't even. It wouldn't even be an issue because I wouldn't associate with that person at all, right? Um, so that's one thing. Um, Another one is he's racist. He would never admit this, but it's so obvious at this point. And I didn't realize this until um, I think it was earlier this year. Which it probably took me longer than it should have. But he's racist. He doesn't like white people, or he shows very obvious favoritism to black people. And I consider that racism, to put it simply. He would like to call it being Afrocentric. I call it racism because it is racist. If a white person did the same thing, we'd be saying that's racist. He's racist. Um, he's plainly said to us that because he had a job where he's since been promoted from this job, but he had a job where he would teach his students how to drive buses. He's plainly told us that he showed favoritism towards black students over white students. Some BS reason. I don't know. Nothing of any nothing that's been proven, nothing that should warrant showing favoritism towards one person over another, but that's what he did for whatever reason. And so there you go. Um, he has serious issues with interracial marriage. He's plainly told me and my brothers that he wants us to marry black women uh, for ridiculous reasons regarding trust, like, oh, you can't trust white women, or you'd be able to trust a black woman. just racist stuff. That is really stupid. So he's racist, okay? He grew up in a black neighborhood, mainly black neighborhood. Um, you know, uh, to put it bluntly, typical ghetto neighborhood. Don't have much. Um, you know, a lot of racist white people, obviously. Back in like the 70s or 70s, 80s, whatever. There's racist white people all over the place. So he ran into a lot of racist white people. Um, and I guess that's the reason he's racist. Just to shorten a long and pointless story. That's why he's racist. So now he's racist, and I don't like it. Um, do I understand it, or am I um, understanding of it? No. He's an adult. He should be smart enough to realize that these opinions that he holds are racist, and that he shouldn't hold these opinions. Um, would I bother having a discussion with him about this? That's funny. I would never do that because he would obviously, well, to anyone in my family that knows him, he would just get all upset and offended and get into this long diatribe about how he's older than me, I don't know anything, and I'm just being immature. And yes, these are the things that he says when we try to have serious discussions with him. That's why I don't bother doing it. I don't know why my older brother bothers to do it. Because he's a child when it comes to having discussions with people. Um, but that's what he would say. So there's no point in even bothering bringing these things up with him because, as I already said 20 times, he is difficult to deal with. Um, so he's a homophobe. He's racist. Um, I am wondering if he's sexist. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. This is purely based on how he treats my mom. And the things that he said to my mom. I'm just, uh, he's called my mom a hoe a few times. He, you know, said some nasty things to her. Uh, Obviously this is when we were fighting. This isn't just normal, things he said. But he says a few nasty things when they were really mad at each other and they said some bad things. But and just based on how he treats my mom, um, I don't know. He could be sexist too. I mean, he's racist and he's a homophobe. Why not be sexist? Why not just top it all off with that? So he's a bigot. That's been established at this point, at least in my mind. And of course, I'm anti-bigotry of any kind. Um, so yeah, he holds opinions that I think are horrible and are not positive at all. He's also anti-atheist. That's another thing that he is apparently um, against. He thinks atheists tend to be bad people for whatever reason. It's a stupid stereotype, but he holds to that. He's like, oh, atheists have no morals and all this other stupid religious bullshit. He just goes out and says it, and I ask him if he has any statistics to back it up. He's like, oh, I would just think that. And it's like that's not an argument. It's not a reason to believe something. You need something substantive to back up your opinion, and he doesn't care that he doesn't have anything to back it up. So, whatever. So he doesn't like atheists. He doesn't like the fact that I'm an atheist. He wishes I were religious. My mom is accepting of it, much more accepting of it. Um, my dad is not. Um, you know, so yeah, my dad's a bigot towards people that aren't his religion, also, which is nice. He's Christian, by the way, as is the rest of my family. Or right now, I don't know about my youngest brother. I think he's skeptical of all this, which is good. Um, but as is the rest of my family as of right now. Um, so yeah, my dad's he's tough to deal with on a regular basis. Um, I think I get a lot of uh, my poor character traits from him. Not to say that I blame him for the gene thing. I mean, he can help it, but I think I get a lot of poor character traits from him. I think I get my insecurity from both of my parents because I'm painfully insecure, and um, that's just I'm an insecure person, and I think I get that from my dad and my mom. My mom's a shy person, not really loud. She's kind of like me. Um, but I think I get a lot of my insecurity also from my dad because if you see past his obvious ego problems, he's insecure, right? He does this to make up for the fact that he knows that he isn't perfect, and he tries to make up for this the harm that's done to his ego by trying to dominate us, and or at least that's what I've come up with in my mind apparently, trying to dominate us and make it seem like he's superior to us. And I think it's all just an ego thing, where he needs us to comfort his ego because he's extremely insecure. So I think I get a lot of my insecurity from him. Um, I can be hard headed sometimes, so I think I get my hard headedness from him too. Um, okay, let me see. Um, needless to say, I think my mom's just a way better person than him. Just to put it bluntly, just I hold no shame and no reservation in saying that. Um, and as you can see, I'm extremely tired of dealing with this person. Um, when I get older and maybe hopefully start a family, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what our relationship turns into. uh, you know, he's just a tough person to deal with in the house. Um, runs around, says all this stuff, says things, frivolously, like it's no big deal. When to me, I take this stuff seriously, and I guess a people person say I take this stuff more seriously than it should be taken. But I can't. Just me personally, it's hard for me to live with someone like that. Uh, so yeah, obviously I'm very sensitive and I don't have tough skin. That's something that it's just it just is what it is. Um, so I am tired of dealing with this man. I don't want to live in this house anymore. I can't. I'm applying for jobs and stuff, and I need money, obviously. Um, I'm hoping when me and my brother get jobs and we can get some more money, we can move out and get a place. Um, and my dad actually even said that he would help us get a place, which I'm like, yes. For a long time, I thought he just wanted to keep us here forever. Because which he said many times, like, oh, you guys can stay here as long as you want. And I was just like, because I want to leave ASAP. But, it's just tough finding a job. And there are a lot of things I have to do, obviously, before I leave. But I do want to get out. Um, and yeah. And I know people deal with a lot worse than this, obviously. And obviously I feel for those people. But I don't want to deal with this. Just, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with him, to be more specific. And I'm done. I'm done dealing with this person. Um, and I mean, you can't put into words what it's hard to accurately put into words what I'm talking about. Um, so I don't know. I wish I could take a video of him, just make a montage of his moments. I think that would better explain what I'm talking about. Um, especially on the internet. I don't think my dad would last 5 seconds on the internet, considering um how harsh people are. He would blow up after like 5 seconds of talking with anyone. But yeah. So this is about it. I'm done. comment, rate, subscribe, whatever. Leave a like, and I guess that's it. Let me know if you've dealt with anything similar. Alright, peace.